Hi there, this is Bonnie Power, and I just thought I'd run you through what's in the selection criteria creator so you knew exactly what you're going to receive once you've downloaded it. So these are all of the products that you'll get, obviously, and if I quickly open up each and every of the documents so that you can see exactly what's in there, then you'll know exactly what you're basically buying. So the first one is the Volume 1 of the Big Book of Selection Criteria Samples, and that is all of the generic key selection criteria that you usually get asked if you're going in for the government level roles. Usually what they want is general employability skills. So if we were to have a look at, this is the first volume is 85 pages, and this is all the generic key selection criteria that they'll ask. So everything from business administration skills to administration management, communication skills, customer service, drive and integrity. If we go down a little bit more, this is the table of contents. Displays personal driving integrity, file management, and then you've got teamwork skills, leadership skills, all of those common ones that you're going to get asked over and over and over again. What I've done is I've compiled all of the best answers that we've ever written that have definitely got people for interview, and I've mixed them up with some support level roles like APS level 3 and 4 with the APS 5 to executive level, so that there's definitely going to be something in there for everybody to benefit from. So you can get a really good idea of what's in there. Now the best way that you can use this, the Big Book of Selection Criteria, is to simply use the contents to scan through to see what you like. If you want to see maybe communicates with influence, all you need to do is just double click on it and it takes you straight there. So then you can find out the more specific question that they're asking and then what they're looking for, and then you've got the response. And what you can do is you read through. Now what I think you should do is always write in your own personality. So if you, for example, like a particular phrase or a sentence or a paragraph out of one of the examples, I urge that you just to copy and paste it into your own key selection criteria responses. You're going to definitely be using your own examples, as will be shown through with the other resources that you'll get with it. But this is just putting it into language, so you can basically put your examples in where these general examples have been placed in there. And you will learn through that there's a 6-step formula with actually creating each response. And every single one of these uses that formula. So if you're wanting to flip through, you can download this. This is a very, very quick and easy way to get your draft together and organised. That is the Big Book of Selection Criteria Examples Volume 1, which is the commonly asked responses. Now if I show you Volume 2, which is another 100 pages, you'll see that this is more specific industry selection criteria. So what I've done here, and this is for all levels of people, from graduate program and internships to teachers, lecturers, and maybe teaching English as a second language, project management and project officer roles. You've got the OH&S coordinator positions, which are a common and highly sought after role at the moment. The Australian Customs and Border Protection Service, that they're always recruiting and they pay very well. Same with Department of Immigration and Citizenship. There's engineering, so if you're an engineer, you will have some examples in there that you can refer to. Also, if you're from a legal background and you're wanting to work for the government, for example, the Office of Police Integrity, or if you're wanting to work within a legal environment for the government, you've got some responses there. And then, you can go through and sift through and see which ones are relevant to you. So that's Volume 2, and so that's more specific to departments and to careers. So that's the big book of selection criteria, nearly 200 pages. There's definitely an order to the selection criteria creator that I suggest you go through. The first one that I think most people will want to do is have a look at those examples. So that's why I've said that's the module 1. With the selection criteria, there's 5 steps or 5 modules that I suggest that you use. So the first one is to have a look at the samples, which is the big book. The second one is to learn the 5 secrets, which is the Confessions of a Resume Writer. And that's basically the easy way to do it, that they don't tell you how to do it on any of the government websites or any other resource that's available on the web. These are shortcuts that we've used to write effective selection criteria responses that have gotten to the people to the interview. And then I'll show you how to do it. There's a set of 3 steps, like video demonstrations that I'll show you. So I'll actually show you how to apply the sequence and apply the formula. Then it's your turn to create your draft, and then the 5th one is to proofread it and to send it off. And there's a couple of things that you should do just before you send it off. So let's have a look. The first one I've shown you, the big book. The second one is learning the 5 secrets. So then if you were to click on there, you'll go straight through to a video which is 35 minutes long, and that will show you the 5 steps. Okay, after you've watched the video and you've gotten the hints and the tips, then you would watch the demonstrations, and this is in 3 videos. So you'll get those. They're very, very easy. They walk you through it, show you how easy it is, and it's amazing how easy it really is when you know how. There's no grey area at all. The 4th module is to start to create your own draft, and by now you've got the examples. But there's a script in here. There's a phone call that I would like you to make before you actually start thinking about your own examples, just to build rapport with the contact officer. There's a couple of questions that are really effective for you to use. So creating a draft, you would make that phone call using that script, and then you would use the resource of the big books of selection criteria just to refer to the examples. Then you would, in this step, I'm suggesting that you actually use the little magic book of interview-winning words and phrases, and that one is full of really professional language. It's got some words and phrases in it that strongly articulate the type of skills that they're wanting to listen to and to hear about within your responses. So they're a summary which I definitely think that you should refer to. There's strong words in there that just pick from, and that I use all the time. I use this as a guide myself, so I'm giving it to you. Okay, so that is the step 4, which is creating your draft. And then the step 5, there's a 14-point checklist in here that we use as part of our quality assurance on our selection criteria. And then there's a phone call and a couple of steps that you make just before you send it off, and then there's a couple of things that you do after you've sent it off also. So that's the 5 steps. Part of one of the bonuses that you get is the fast track guide to interview success, and I think that this is important for you to read as well, because I know that you're going to actually get there. We're using this system, so I don't want to basically leave you high and dry with the interview, because I know that you'll be calling me up saying, what next? Can you give me any tips? So I've compiled this guide to show you all of these different areas. So these are my best tips. It's 27 pages, and it will give you the edge on how to prepare for the interview with the government panel. Alrighty, so it's so full of information. You can't go wrong. It's a 60-day money-back guarantee on all this, so you'll receive it in a few minutes if you organise the download right now. The next one is this beautiful guide, which just makes the interview preparation so much easier, and it talks about the model answers on how to respond to the typical questions that they're going to ask you for an interview. the whole purpose of the interview is to verify what you've said in the selection criteria. So whatever examples that you use in the responses, they're going to want to know more detail about those particular examples, and they're going to also want to know more details about other examples. So this shows you how to respond in a professional way. It also talks about how to overcome the nervousness, how to deal with the fact that 3 people are going to be sitting all alongside each other, probably interviewing you in an intimidating type of environment, how to basically breathe and really visualise yourself succeeding tremendously well through that process and being seen as the ideal candidate at the end, because that's what you want. So we'll have a little look at the table of contents, shall we? And you've got nearly 100 pages of information that will show you exactly what I suggest that you use. This has been used on a lot of different people, and I know that it works. So I've compiled the very, very best strategies and career coaching, job interview training advice that I've had in my 10 years as a career coach and experienced job search trainer. So that is the ultimate guide to job interview answers. So you've got quite a few different resources there. You can't go wrong with this because there is the money back guarantee. You've got 60 days. What I urge you to do is to download it now while you've got your mind on it, and then have a look through the very first module, which is actually flicking through the big book of selection criteria examples and basically making a note of which ones you feel would be relevant to you. But also don't hesitate to read through the other examples just to have a look at the language, just so you can start to become familiar. It's like by osmosis, you'll start to feel like you know the phrases and the words and the way that you articulate your experience as in the most professional manner. Alrighty, so I hope I've answered your questions, given you a bit of insight into what you'll expect. Good luck with your applications, and please feel free to email me any questions that you might have. Thank you.